what is piercing the corporate veil? Well, this is an extremely important concept that applies to all business entity types that offer limited liability. Basically, the state says this: we grant to the business a separate entity status from its owners. If you do not treat this business entity as separate from yourself, as a separate entity, then you could subject yourself to personal liability for the business entity. That is, the court will pierce the veil of limited personal liability protection offered by this business entity status, and you'll be treated no differently than if you were partners. And each owner can be subjected to personal liability for the debts or tort liabilities of the business. Now, so what would the court look at in saying, should we pierce the corporate veil and hold the owners personally liable for the debts or liabilities of the business? First, they look at ownership. Is there a maintenance system in place, the keeping of meetings, etc., that is separate from the individuals acting on behalf of the business? So look at the formalities or the maintenance in place. Two, the court will look and say, is the business adequately capitalized? That means, is there enough money in the business to support ongoing operations? Or have the owners pulled all the money out of the business so it's really just a shell? There is no ongoing entity or business operations. Everything rests back with the shareholders. Other situation would be whether there's an adequate insurance policy, which goes to the capitalization of the business. So if there is tort liability, is there funds to pay the business? And third, and maybe most importantly, the court will look and say, was there an intermingling of funds? Did the business entity treat its bank account just like the personal bank account of the owners? So say I own a limited liability company and I write personal checks to pay my mortgage, to pay my car insurance, to pay whatever out of the business bank account. That's using that bank account as if it were my personal bank account. That's intermingling funds. And perhaps I write checks routinely to the business and don't keep up with that as capital investment. Again, that's an intermingling of funds. You're not keeping the separation between business assets and personal assets. In that case, the court would be extremely willing to disregard the business entity and subject the owners to personal liability. And they call it the alter ego theory. Is it the alter ego of the owners? And if that is the case, that is justifiable then to pierce the veil and subject the owners to personal liability for the debts or liabilities of the corporation.